Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. On behalf of Olive Community Services in the city of Anaheim, we are thrilled to bring this event to you. This is the second year that we are doing it. As you know, this is an Eid luncheon. Eid marks the end of the fasting month of Ramadan, and it is celebrated throughout the world. And this year it coincides with the month of April, so we are also honoring Arab American Heritage Month and Earth Day or Earth Month for everybody.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for joining us here to celebrate Eid. And I think the minute that I have, I would like to use that to share the history of a partnership with the city of Anaheim. When Olive started our first program, we looked out for exercise program, and there was one being held here by the North Orange County Community College District, hosted by City of Anaheim. We started coming, and then we rented a room next door to hold our 2-hour program. So that was the beginning of Olive coming to the Brookhurst Community Center. And then when I met Maureen in a conversation, she said, "Do you have any festivals that you celebrate?" And I said, "Definitely." So that was the beginning of the conversation that resulted in us holding this Eid celebration together. And Maureen, thank you very much for your open-mindedness and for inviting us.
Hi, I'm Maureen, and I run the Active Older Adult Program for the City of Anaheim. I'm really blessed that you're all here. It's exciting to meet you. I have a request of those who are 55 years of age and older and residents of the City of Anaheim. We are in the middle of doing a survey, and surveys seem boring, but this survey is helping us to get funding to build senior centers. And I want to know, do you want to have more activities like this? Probably yes, right? We need the space. So if you have relatives that are here and they're residents and they're over 55, please come and find us and make sure we do the surveys for you. Thank you.
MashaAllah. Let's give Miss Maureen and Miss Rubina a big round of applause. I did not introduce myself. My name is Fuad Yaqub. I am an Oliver. I am a strong supporter and volunteer from Olive Community Services. Professionally, I am the Dean of Students at a private school right here in the city of Anaheim, Minaret Academy, and I'm very honored to be here. Olive would like to congratulate and thank our collaborators for this afternoon. First, Access California. Where is Access? Next, we have Omid Multicultural Institute for Development right here. We have the Art and Wilderness Institute. Right here in the corner, we have the Arab American Civic Council. And you're going to be hearing from their students, but their booth is in the back. Decor School. Also, very popular this morning, we have a country called Syria. And lastly, we have the Latino Muslim Unity. I think they're in the back. This event would not be possible without our sponsors, so let's recognize our sponsors. Number one, Bloomfield Dental Center. Give them a round of applause. Falcon Engineering, Helping Humanity First, and Al Tayyibat Market. Please give all of those a big round of applause. Next, we have a number of vendors who are here. Hello Kismet, Kinode Films, Hala Photography, Henna Hub OC, Henna by Mariam, and Mendi by Naila, and Kamaria Coffee. Once again, on behalf of Olive, Eid Mubarak to you. So let's invite our first speaker. She needs no introduction, but Miss Maria Khani is the founder of a country called Syria, and we would like to invite her to share a few words on Eid.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? Are you ready for a great program? Yes. Raise your hand if you are. Yes, good job. Well, 2 days ago we celebrated the Eid, and Eid means a feast. which is the holiday that comes after Ramadan, right? And we enjoy the whole month of fasting and giving and sharing and being active in the community. So we accomplished a great thing, and now it's time to celebrate. And what kind of more celebration would be better than having all of you today with us? So I wish all of you that you will enjoy your lunch today. Please visit all the exhibits and enjoy the food, because the food is so important. Happy Eid, everybody, and thank you so much for being with us.
MashaAllah, big round of applause for Miss Maria Khani, a country called Syria. No Eid event would be possible without children, without kids. They are the joy of our heart. How many of you in here are grandparents? Oh, MashaAllah, yes. Well, next up, we have from the Core School, a very heartwarming performance. It is a school based in Anaheim. Most of its students are from immigrant and refugee communities, and they will be singing It's a Small World After All. Yes, give them a big round of applause.
It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hopes and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. 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 It's a small, small world. There is just one moon and the golden sun, and a smile means friendship to everyone. Though the mountains divide and the oceans are wide, it's a small world after all. 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 It's a small, small world. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all.
Miss Sama Ware. She is the director, co-founder, and expert naturalist at the Art and Wilderness Institute to say a few words. Give her a big round of applause.
Right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Everyone, how are we doing today? Excellent. All right. I work out in the outdoors, and in the outdoors we do a thing to get everyone's attention. So if you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. All right, that tends to work. Okay. So I'm going to start before I begin speaking about Earth Month. I wanted to quote a verse from the Holy Quran. And it's from Surah Al-An'am, Ayah 38. And there is no creature or within the earth or bird that flies with its wings, except that they are communities like you. We have not neglected in the register a thing. Then unto their Lord they will be gathered. When we reflect upon this verse from the Holy Quran, we understand that we here are a community gathered together, but also in nature there are communities gathered together. And within the communities are multiple communities. For example, there's bacteria communities, there's tree communities, there's plant communities, there's insect communities. And if we are to remove one thing from any of those communities, disaster unfolds. I'll share with you a tiny example, just a small example. So, I was born and raised here in California, and like many of you who are my generation, probably your parents came here and the first thing they had to do when they got here was figure it out, right? We come from immigrant backgrounds and they had to figure it out to make a living. Their concern was not going camping or hiking or trying to explore nature. They had to work really hard to build a life for us, right? And so many of our elders are actually like quite afraid of lizards and snakes and things like that. And so I was having a conversation with one of our elders, and she was saying, you know, I really want to get rid of the lizards in my backyard. How do I get rid of all the lizards in my backyard? And this is just a small example. I was saying, well, you know, if you get rid of the lizards in your backyard, would you like more insects in your backyard? She's like, no, I don't want insects in my backyard either. And I said, well, if you get rid of the insects in your backyard, are you okay with not having fruit in your backyard? Are you okay with having mosquitoes everywhere in your backyard? And it was this never-ending story that, you know, everything was related to the next thing. We have a lizard here called the Western fence lizard. And raise your hand if you've ever heard of Lyme disease. Has anyone ever heard of Lyme disease? So Lyme disease can be debilitating. It can make you, you know, lose, it really weakens you. Eventually you won't even be able to walk. It's really quite a very difficult disease to live with that has no cure yet. And so interestingly enough, this Western fence lizard has a protein in its blood that if, let's pretend a tick, which for Lyme disease, a tick is going to bite Josefa over there, my old student. Hey, Josefa. And the tick's going to bite him, and that tick has Lyme disease. But on the way, the tick bites that lizard. The blood from that lizard neutralizes the Lyme disease inside the tick and removes the Lyme disease from the ecosystem. So that tick would bite Josefa, and he would just get a bite. He would not get the Lyme disease. And I'm sharing that tiny example with all of us because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created so many amazing creatures on this earth, and they all do really interesting things. They all do very interesting things. But just because we don't know what they do does not mean that we have to decide what is the value of this or not. I'm getting he's coming on stage. Okay, so I just wanted to share a couple of closing words, and I thought I would share that because Earth Month comes and we think, okay, I'm gonna plant some trees and call it Earth Month and then go back to my habits. And with everything going on in Palestine, we've learned that consumerism breeds war. And it is up to us as humans to say no, to not just refuse, not just reuse, recycle, reduce, but also refuse and learn where our stuff comes from, because it's killing the planet and it's also hurting a lot of people on this earth. And so let us make a conscious effort moving forward to protect the earth in every way of our lifestyle, not just in planting trees, but in everything that we do.
Thank you, Ms. Sama. And our next speaker is no less than that. I would invite the director and founder of the Arab American Civic Council, Mr. Rashad Dabbagh, to come and tell us about this unique month, Arab American Heritage Month.
Thank you. And good morning, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak. My name is Rashad Dabbagh. I'm the executive director of the Arab American Civic Council, serving the Arab American community, building Arab American community power here in Southern California. I want to wish you all a happy Eid and a happy Arab American Heritage Month. Every year during the month of April, we celebrate, we recognize our community's contribution to this country by celebrating Arab American Heritage Month during the month of April. And it's important to recognize, as a fun fact, that Arab Americans and Arab American history have been here for many, many years. In fact, the first Arab American, or the first Arabic-speaking individual in America was back in the 16th century. We've been here, we have a history of, here in this country since the 16th century. It was an individual that was enslaved by the name of Zamouri. So Zamouri was an individual from Morocco who came to America against his will, back in the 16th century and lived in the 1500s. Here in California, we are proud to have a very vibrant Arab American community. Since the 16th century until now, we now have 4 million Arab Americans in America. In California, we are proud to have Little Arabia. We're all in Little Arabia right now. Just a mile away from here, we have Little Arabia, which shows how much diversity and beauty we brought to Orange County. And I want to mention that I'm proud of everybody here and our community as a whole during this fight to get Little Arabia designated. This is the only officially designated area in the entire nation known as Little Arabia. And that took 2 decades of community engagement, 2 decades of community education, 2 decades of small businesses opening up and contributing to the city of Anaheim. From the early 80s when we had Al Tayyibat Market, that unique shop that used to bring our community together, until now where we have more than 100 small businesses serving this community. Okay, I've been asked to speak Arabic, so راح أحكي عربي بس بسرعة. بدي أشكركم كلكم وأعيدكم عيد مبارك للجميع، وبدنا نستمتع اليوم بمناسبة شهر التراث العربي الأمريكي وأهمية ليتل أرابيا، المنطقة العربية الصغيرة اللي بتجمعنا تجمعنا كل سنة هون في ليتل أرابيا. كل عام وأنتم بخير. Before I give back the mic, I just want to mention that while we come here together and celebrate the Eid and celebrate Arab American Heritage Month, we also must always remember our brothers and sisters who are suffering in Gaza. Keep them in our mind, keep them in our prayers, and continue to advocate against what's happening to them, and continue to advocate for peace and justice for Palestinians in Gaza.
MashaAllah, thank you, Brother Rashad.
All of you, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure and honor and a blessing to be among the community. You know, I think Dr. Ahmed Soba was supposed to speak. He's another member of the people that advise Olive and are one of the responsible people for making it what it is. But partnerships are a key. You know, you all came to the Brookhurst Community Center. It has the word community in it. Olive Community Services also has the word community in it. What exactly is a community? You are here embodying, enacting what exactly community does. There's 2 words that are very obvious in the word community, that is in both where we are in Anaheim at the Brookhurst Community Center and at an event hosted by Olive Community Services. It's things we have in common. It's the fact that we love culture, we love to see each other happy. That's what brings us together. The other word in community besides common is unity. How to get together on things that unite us, that bring us all together. So this is a great exhibition, representation of what it means to come together for the right reasons, for the most enjoyable moments. Lastly but not in the least, we're celebrating Arab American Heritage Month and celebrating Earth Month. The word California actually comes from an Arabic word in Montalvo's novel, most likely, Khalifa. It's an Arabic word that means someone who is a steward of the earth. So California is actually named after an Arabic element and something that is supposed to take care of the world around us. So may we live up to the things that we're named after. May we all come together for many more good things and stay united on the path of truth and the path of commonality. Thank you very much.
Well, let me tell you, we have a special performance. It's a drum and dabka dance just for you. Let me share, for those of you who don't know, a little bit of background. Dabka is an Arabic folk dance which originated in the mountains of the Levantine region, including Philistine, Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria. Dabka is derived from the Levantine Arabic word dabaka, meaning stamping of the feet, or to make a noise, Legend says that people in this region made the roof of their houses with tree branches and mud. And when the weather would change the mud, it would crack. So family members and community would come and help patch it by forming a line, joining hands, and stomping the mud into place. Once better roof-making technology was available, the story of their work dance was passed on through generations to remind them of the importance of family, community, and tradition. Today, 21st century, Dabka is seen throughout the world at weddings, family gatherings, and celebrations. So put your hands together and let us welcome the Saeed Dance Company. As we leave here today, we want to thank Olive Community Services, we want to thank the city of Anaheim, and we leave with a sense of gratitude, and we also leave remembering our sisters and brothers in Gaza and all people around the world who are suffering through oppression and aggression. And we ask the Almighty One to alleviate of their pain, their suffering. All of those who have been perished, we ask them to be raised as martyrs in the highest place in paradise. And those who are ill or wounded, may God Almighty, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide them His shifa, His healing, His cure. So once again, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, bless you and your families. Please wait for a volunteer to come by. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Eid Mubarak. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.